Hello everyone. Today I'm super excited to share something I've been working on. A fully functional sign-in page using HTML, CSS, JavaScript and PHP. In previous video, I talked about the designing part of the basic steps of the entire web application, that is the sign up page and the sign in page. To sign in, we need to sign up first. We need to give our data and let this website store this data into the database. So once you give the data and also once they have your data, so then it's possible for you to go to the sign in page and give your informations and to sign in. So now I'll show you how this sign in page works. So here I came back to the sign up page and now I'm going to fill this input fields with some data. So give some data as you want: the first name, last name, email, a password, a mobile number, and choose a gender as you want. So I'll fill some example names and some details. I'd like to go with Nipun for now. Nipun Viragama. And a fake email. .com. And a password. I'd give a random number. 37. A fake mobile number. Then I'll keep this as gender. And let's see, sign up. Registration successful. So this registration successful message pops up when your essential data is stored in the database. Let me show you my database, the way how the data which you entered is stored. As you can see, the way how the data is stored. See, email, first name, last name, the password, the mobile number I gave is stored here. Gender. So this is how the data will be stored in the database. And now, since we have an account, we can go through this option by clicking already have an account sign in button. So when you come here, see, they're giving you a message. Please enter your email. So now we need to give the email that we gave in the sign up page. So let's give it Viragama. So I gave the email account that I gave here. And now we need to enter the password which we gave in the sign up page. So now I'm giving the password. Right, I gave it. I will be talking about this remember me option a bit later, maybe in my next video. And now I'll show you what will happen as soon as we click the sign in button. When we click the sign in button, we will be taking directly towards the home page. Right? So this is the sign in process. So this is what happens in a sign in page. Right? Now I'd like to show you the code that I did, that I coded in the VS Code. So this is my index.php file. So this is the design, the sign in box. See, I have created div tags and classes, whole 12 using Bootstrap, and then I have given an ID so that it's easy for us to do the process in the JavaScript. And then again classes, then I have given a title and I have named it as title 2 sign in. The title 1 was sign up and title 2 is sign in. And this is the error message box. It says this is where error messages like invalid email or password will be shown to you. Suppose if you give them a fake password, or we can say a fake email, or you made a mistake while typing, so it shows you which category has a mistake. So it uses Bootstrap alert danger class for a red warning sign box. So if you want to change the color of the box that's appearing, you can go through Bootstraps and go for an option. So here, using dnone as a property hides it by default until JavaScript shows it. It hides the box until JavaScript chose to show it, display it. So here, you might be wondering what this PHP section. So this is the PHP section for remembering the email and password that you entered to those input fields. So I will be talking about these PHP codes in detail in the next video, but in here, I would like to give you a simple idea. So within this code, PHP literally checks if the user previously chose remember me option or not. Like if it's yes, the email and password will be stored in the browser cookies, right? And if not, it will be forever forgotten. So these code lines will retrieve them and saves them into the email and password variables we have created. So these are the uh, email and password input fields you saw here. These two fields. So this PHP code means if a cookie exists, it will autofill the email from the email variable. If you gave the remember me option, and if it stored the email that you already gave into the email field into the browser cookie, this field will be automatically filled from the email that is stored in the email variable. So here in the password input field, it's also the same. If you gave the remember me option, the and if the cookie has stored the particular password you gave them in its in this password variable, the field will be auto-filled. So this is a remember me option. See, this is the remember me text and this is a checkbox. This is a text and this is a checkbox. And I will talk about this remember me option in the next video in more detail. And you can see these are the other buttons. So this is a link, forget password. So we have used an anchor tag, an href. And here this is a sign in. This is new to Eshop, sign up. So when you click this, there will be a certain JavaScript function design here in JavaScript, and we have called it to this button call using onClick keyword. And when you click the sign in button, what happens? You will be automatically headed towards the home page. And if you click the new to Eshop sign up button, you will be directed towards the sign up page. So you can refill the essential details of you and then sign up. As soon as the informations or your details are stored in the database, you can come up and you can go back to the sign in page and give your details and sign into the home page. This is what happens in the sign in page. So I'll show you the JavaScript as well. So this is my script.js file, JavaScript. So you can see this is a function for sign in button. I have created 3 variables called email, password, and remember me. I will talk about this remember me in much detail in the next video. So in this time, we will be mostly focusing on this email and password fields only. So these code lines refer to as, so they gets the email field, password field, and remember me checkbox from the form by their IDs. So these are their IDs. Like if I go back to my index.php file and show you, you can see these are my IDs, right? So using these IDs, they catch the element and then whatever the detail you give, it will be stored in this variable called email. Like if you give a separate email, like a different email to this particular field, it will catch, like JavaScript will catch the email using its ID given, and then it will store in this particular variable. And for the password, it's also the same. When you give a password into the password field, it will catch the, like JavaScript will catch it by the ID given, and then the value or the detail you gave will be stored in the variable or password. And then for the remember me option also is the same. So as I told you, I'm not going to talk about this right now. And after storing those values in these variables, we are creating a new form data and then storing the new form as variable f, and then we are appending those values. To send this data to the file we need, we are using the AJAX method. For that, we are creating a request. We are creating a new request using new XML HTTP request and storing this request, storing the new request in a variable called request. We are creating a request, a variable called request, and we are storing it. And then you can see to check the request change, like to check its state change, we are creating a function. This type of function is known as anonymous functions, which means there are special types of functions which we used to create in for the special environments. Since this is a special environment, you can see this is a function which is nameless. So these nameless functions are created only for special occasions, for special environments. This is a reason why we call them as anonymous functions. So inside the anonymous function, we are creating a if condition. We are giving an if. So here we are checking inside the if condition, we are checking the ready state and the ready status of the request. If the ready state is 4 and the request status is 200, then the response, we are requesting for the response text. Okay, we are requesting for the response text, and then since we get the response text, we are saving it in the variable called response. Okay, if, and then again we are adding an if condition, if the response is equals to success. Okay, if the response we get from the server side is success, we are telling it to direct us towards the home page, or else if not, give us a response call, otherwise the response will be shown as an error message like invalid password or whatsoever. So in this code line it says the request will be open as the post request and it will be directly sent to the sign in process.php. Okay, so from this it says sends the form data, which means F, to the server. So the server will receive E, P, and R values and then process them. So since we sent our request to the signin process.php using the post method, now let's see what about the signin process.php file has to say to us. So this is my signin process.php file. So in the beginning of the page, you can see I have added the connection.php connection. This connects the file to the database. So this is the connection line. Okay, we call this as a connection line. So this is a session start. So let's go and see. So this gets the data sent from the Ajax method. So here E is referred to as email, P is password, and R is remember me. So we are getting them, we are catching them and storing them in the separate variables here. And you can see we have if conditions. We are checking whether the fields, the email field and password fields are empty. If they are empty, we are echoing a face call. Please enter your email. And if your password field is empty, we are asking you to, we are giving a warning. Call, please enter your password. Okay, or else, suppose if you give every details in a right way and click the sign in button, this is what happens. If so else, we run a query. Select all from user via email. Is this email that's stored in the email variable, and password, which is stored as in the password variable. So we are running this query in the database. So the reason why we run this query is to find the user that matches. Okay, the user who matches the particular email and the password we give. Okay, and then this query checks how many users are there with the email that you gave, with the password that you gave, and it stores the number of rows in this variable. Okay, the number of users, and then it checks the number of rows. See, number of rows in this variable, it will store in a separate variable called num. And then we are checking this using if condition. If there's only one row, echo success. Okay, this is what it says. If a user exists, send the word called success back to the JavaScript while fetching the user's details too. So this code line is used to store those details in the session called U so that the user stays logged in while browsing. So there is no errors that occurs when while browsing. So as I told you, this remember me option will be discussed in the next video with more detailed. I'll leave it as it is. So I gave you a little bit of explanation about this remember me option also, though I told you we will discuss about this in the next video. I gave you a simple idea about what happens when you click this remember me option. So the details will be stored in a cookie in a cookie, and then you can use it to refill, like automatically fill these the details you gave into the fields without typing them. So this is what happens in remember me option. And then like as soon as you done giving the email and password and then sign in, so if so as soon as you enter them and click the sign in button, the database will be searched using this query, and so it will try to find a match, and then it will be stored again in this variable, and using this if conditions, it will check, and if they could find you the match, they will echo this word called success. If not, invalid email or password. So this is what happens in the sign-in process in this Eshop web application. So again, I'll show you how this sign-in process works. So I'll give you a random email that we already stored, and then a password, the password we gave, and then, so here I'm not clicking this remember me option, and then directly I'm signing in. Here we go. So now let's try by giving some wrong details. So these are the right informations. Now I'll show you the password that I gave, and I'll change it to something fake like 12567 or something like this. So I'll show you. So then sign in. Did you see? You're getting an error message, invalid email or password. Now let's give the right one again and sign in. Here we go. So this is what happens in a sign in page. So I'll refresh it and see. This is our sign up page, and this is our sign in page. Thank you.